Hello, I'm Lazy. I'm going to share my Awakening Maegu guide. For the side note, English is not my native language and I'm also not the best at editing video, but I'll try my best to make it easy to understand. One more thing, this video gonna be quite long and mostly intended to help new player to learn about the class, so there will be a lot of repeated information that a lot of player already knows. Okay, so first of all, why would you want to play Awakening Maegu and what kind of playstyle Awakening Maegu provide? In my opinion, Awakening Maegu in the current meta is really strong and also one of the classes that can still be played effectively even with some gear difference against the enemy. Even after the nerf, she still have a really strong kit mainly around her mobility and CC. Her gear build is important on deciding how you're gonna play her. You can either run full AP build or tanky build with evasion, with high enough AP to one combo someone. If you choose AP build, your playstyle gonna be around quick in and out and avoiding staying in fight for too long because you can get blasted in super armor pretty easy. But this also means you have high chance to kill someone while they are still standing. So no need to do a long combo to kill someone. While tanky build, it's opposite of the AP build. You're gonna try to stay in a fight for a long time so you can pressure the enemy while trying to find a chance to CC them. This means you can help your team more by giving pressure to enemy and taking the aggro. Both build works and have their own advantage and disadvantage. Before we talk more about the build, let's talk about the Awakening Maegu skill first. Okay, let's talk about the Awakening skill first. For core, you want to take the Twirling Rhapsody. It gives you float to the skill. It's SS skill that float in the first hit and then last hit. This is the skill, the spin one. And then you will also have Twirling Crane as your healing skill. I usually lock it and then put it on my hotbar so I don't mispress the skill. Gonna be this. Okay, after this we also have some buff. Your first buff gonna be Spot Spirit Conduit, which is your E buff. It gives you AP, critical hit rate, and then max HP. It also gives you patient rate and then air attack damage. For your other buff gonna be Fox Flare Stroke, which is your AP buff. It gives you 20% 20 AP for 10 seconds. This skill. And then you also have Fox Flare Fletch, which is your critical buff. It's give 30% for 10 seconds. This buff. Okay. For Fox Flare Stroke and Fox Flare Fletch, it doesn't stack with your E buff. So if you already have your E buff up, you don't need to pre-buff with these two. You also have Fan Kick, which is your air attack buff. It's give you 5% air attack for 5 seconds. You can make it into 10% with Spiritforge stage. This is gonna be the skill. It's gonna be 5%. But if you have Spiritforge stage, which we will talk about it more later, but I'm just gonna give some example. It's gonna be 10%. And then your last buff gonna be your evasion buff, which is Hazy Pet. Hazy Pet give you 9% evasion rate for 10 seconds. Okay, that's for the buff. Let's talk about debuff. Your first debuff gonna be minus DP for 20%. It's gonna be Ember plus less. And then there's also a fashion debuff, which is Fox Flare Cliff. It's give minus 3% for 10 seconds. And then the last one gonna be Ember Claw Finale. It's 15% movement speed for 5 seconds. Next one, we're gonna talk about mobility skill. Your mobility skill gonna be your dash first. You can dash to any direction for your first dash. This is the front and side dash. Oh, let's circle down. Side dash. Then there's also backward dash. Okay, there's also your second part of dash is, let's say, front front, or you can do from side dash to front. Then there's also side into side. But The only second dash that you cannot do is your backward dash, because if you do second dash backward dash, it's gonna be unprotected. Even if you started with front into back, it's gonna be unprotected, and then side into back, it's also gonna be unprotected. Okay, so next one's gonna be Fox Floor Charge. Your biggest mobility skill, I would say, it's WF, and then 10-second cooldown. Gonna be this skill. There's also gonna be Hazy Pet, your block jump. It's WRMB. This one only, okay. The block jump. It have quite a long range. So yeah, if you see your still red, you can block jump. But if it's not red, that means it's out of your range. Yep. If it's out of range, you will get the shorter version. Okay, the last one gonna be Fox Flare Ambush. This is also your, you can say this is your CC skill, also mobility skill, also damage skill. It's gonna be press. Yeah, it's gonna be your mobility skill. Okay, let's talk about the protection now. About with SA, it's gonna be your E buff, which you need to add it to quick slot. I forgot to tell that. You cannot use it other than using it on quick slot. And then there's Hazy Pet, your mobility skill. WRME. Fox Flare Charge WF. Then Fox Flare Echo, which you can use after you use Twirling Fox Flare by just holding your F. Twirling Fox Flare gonna be FG, and then this one gonna be SA. So you can see it. This FG first into SA. And then there's also Twirling Rhapsody, type move RMB. And there's also Amber Claw Finale, if Twirling Retreat SF, and then Fox Flare Ambush, which is FG. Okay, after that we're gonna go to FG. FG, you will have Amber Claw Torrent. This also heals you. Shift RMB. It's 3 hit. You can cancel it starting from the second hit. That's it. Cancel with dash or cancel with advanced skills. Let's say we can cancel it with SF2. Okay. Then there's also Twirling Proctor, which we show before. It's F. Then there's also Amber Claw Sweep that is FT, but you need to use Amber Claw Slash, which is protected first, and then hold the leftmost click button LMB. It's gonna be Shift LMB for Amber Claw Slash, and then hold it to the FG part. Okay, that's gonna be it for FG, the protection skill. Okay, and then let's talk about the CC skill. First of all, you have Ember Claw Crush, which is your KD. This also unprotected. First part gonna be stiff, and then second part gonna be knockdown. Just press E, hit first into knockdown. You can cancel the skill into knockdown only, but first of all, you need to use Foxfire Fledge into Ember Claw Crush, which is gonna be RMB into E. Knockback, second part of Omicron class, which is knockdown. That's gonna be your KD skill. And then there's floating. There's Foxtail and Mastery, which is you actually I think you never gonna use this. First let me show you this. I need to use this first. Then it's gonna be dash into oh. Dash into oh. Yeah man, there's a reason why you don't use this skill. Dash into this, yeah. That's gonna be your fourth skill, which is you probably not gonna use it ever. And there's also gonna be your Touring Rhapsody with the 4. Set movement enemy. You also float. There's your Fox Flare Cliff. Also float. You press Q. There's also Fan Kick, which is SLB. And then the last one, Fox Flare Ambush F. Two main CC skill gonna be Touring Rhapsody and then Fox Flare Ambush because it's your protect skill. After that, we don't have bound. This is only PvE bound. And stun, we also don't have stun. This is only PvE stun. Stiffness, it only comes from first part of Emberclaw Crash, which is we rarely use it like this. If you wanna use it still, we're probably gonna be one to use R&D first, and then this. It's more protected, give you crit buff, and then better overall. That's not gonna be your knockback. Knockback's only your Foxful Pledge, your R&D. This one is PvP knockback, and then you don't have grapple, you don't have freezing. So that's all for your CC. Okay, so after CC, let's talk about the swap first. First of all, there's like front and then backwards CCs. I mean backward swap. There's frontal swap gonna be like this. And your back swap gonna be like this. Both are FG. Okay then. You also have side swap, which is if you use your side swap, it's gonna use your Twirling Rhapsody too. This. So if you use it when Twirling Rhapsody is on cooldown, right? You're gonna be SA for a second, no, not even a second, SA for a bit into unprotected. So this, then it's on cooldown. Enemy, oh, okay. This, Awakening, and then SA for a bit, and then it's unprotected because the Twin Rhapsody skill is on cooldown. That's gonna be your set swap. If you want to swap with C swap, right? I recommend to use the backward C swap because if you use frontal C swap, right, you will be locked in animation of the fun. How do you say it? Fun swap is it? And but yeah, you will be locked in animation. But if you go backward C swap, it is faster. So yeah, that's one thing if you want to mid max the C swap. Oh yeah, I forgot about it, but for the pre-awakening into awakening swap, right? Other than C swap that I talked before, we also have hazy patch, which is WRMB. Got to tell about it. We also have fox flash patch, which is your WL. Then there is also fox flare ambush, which is okay. Sorry about that. So let's go about other. Okay, and then we also have BSR skill. Your useful skills gonna be three. First gonna be your Twirling Rhapsody. You mainly use this as some damage, and then mostly for dismounting people either from horse or from cannons, something like that. There's also Twirling Retreat, which is your 25% BSR. You use this to kill evasion target. It gives 12% evasion debuff for 20 seconds. And then there's gonna be your Amber Claw Finale, your 100%. It's not that much of damage. The CC also not good, but it is good enough for you to combo to hopefully get a massive ding 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 massive kill. You're mostly gonna do it like this, and then CQ with your 100%. I have the 100%, I'm sorry. Oh, it's on cooldown. More time. Yeah, mostly gonna be like this. So it's gonna be knocked down in the end. Like that's your BSR. And then before we start going to pre-awakening skill, for the lock skill rank, for me, I only lock Dueling Fan, which I said before. Some people, they do lock Emberclaw Crush because they don't like to use KD in Awakening Maegu. So yeah, you can also lock this to make sure you don't miss your input. Other than that, I think yeah, only that. You use all the other skill. You can also lock Ember Claw Sweep, by the way, because for Ember Claw Slash, you mostly just gonna use this for minus DP into other skill. You don't really wanna do this skill because it doesn't do much damage. Yeah, that's it for the lock skill. And then let's talk about the pre-awakening skill. For pre-awakening skill, you have two buff, which is, let's see, it's gonna be glow, maybe nether reaper. Oh yeah, here. Gonna be nether reaper, which is 20 AP for 10 seconds. It's this skill. First of all, you need to set LMB into this skill, right? Barret Cloud. And then after you do that, you hold LMB without pressing the side movement. Like this. Yep. 20 AP. And then there's also one more skill, which is Charm. This skill. It's as simple as spacebar after any skill or SLMB. I mean S spacebar. This the S spacebar type. It gives you also 20 AP. And then let's say we do this into spacebar. 20 AP for 10 seconds. That's gonna be your AP buff. You also have debuff, which is a protected as a minus DP buff RMB. Yep, minus 20 DP. Then there's also Soul Snare, which you need to lock it so you can go to Awakening. We'll talk about later, but yeah, it gives you, what is it, 10% minus movement speed debuff. But if you lock it, like, you need to put it on, say, this quick slot and use it. I rarely use this because Awakening we already have CPU, right? It gives more and then it's protected. Okay. Okay, so debuff done. Let's talk about the mobility. Mobility, we also have dash. Our dash gonna be this first dash, then the second dash also. So the first dash first. Front dash gonna be SA into iframe. Side dash iframe first, right? And then backward dash also iframe first. So if you want to bait enemy grab, make sure you use side dash or backward dash. Oh sorry, the second backward dash. So it's iframe first. If you use front dash, like, you might get grabbed because the first skill is, the first protection is a super armor and it's not iframe. So into the second dash is the two forward dash into side dash. That is the shot dash, and then there's also backward dash into backward. You can actually do double backward dash in pre-awakening compared to awakening. You can also do first dash for backward dash, second dash backward. It's gonna be unprotected. But yeah, it for the dash, and then there's also bear cloud. Yeah, bear cloud, which is your FG mobility skill. And use this to move a bit. It's only side movement, so you need to handle it with your camera movement. Yeah, it's gonna be bird claw. There's also soul tier. Is your WQ. This SA, and then the last part gonna be stiff but unprotected. So be careful about that. Then there's also lurking claws. Gonna be SF. You need to target enemy for it to move. Or it's a block jump. And yeah, it is kind of clunky because sometimes it just doesn't work even though you hit them, and then sometimes even if you don't hit, right, it works. I literally don't know what this skill does, but it is a really strong skill because it doesn't use stamina and then it moves you, yeah, like this. Okay, let's talk about the protection now. First of all, it's gonna be SA. You mainly gonna use SA skill on pre-awakening as your linger skill, so you can stay lingering as A while staying protected, while being neutral, so that people doesn't go to you. Yeah, you're mainly gonna use SA in Reawakening for that. First of all, it's gonna be your RMB. Then there's also Hanpuri, which you cannot really use it because first of all you need to use Soul Flame into unprotected. It's not gonna recommend it. Then Saltir, your mobility skill, first part SA, last part unprotected stiff. There's also Petal Place as RMB. This is a really nice skill. You can use it to bait grab too, but sometimes it disinky, so yeah, be careful about that. So Spirit's World, your Stiff F. It's gonna be Lurking Claws, which is your mobility skill that is quite clunky again. Yep, doesn't work again. Yeah. Okay, option. Nice. I don't know what's going on. Sometimes works for me, sometimes doesn't. This is because my input. Might be because of my input actually. But yeah, the last one's gonna be Sword Dance, which is your WRMB. You're gonna lock the skill so you can go to pre-awakening. I mean, you can go to awakening with this hazy path. So you're gonna need to put it on your hotbar. If you're gonna use it, you're mostly gonna use it for lingering and then BSR. But yeah, this is your dash. And then Path of Petals, like you cannot use this. If you use WF, you're gonna go to Foxflower Charge. Is even if you lock it right, you still gonna cannot use it. The WF. Yeah, that's about it for your mobility skill. I mean for your SS skill. And let's talk about FG. FG, you have Bark Claws again, your mobility skill. And then there's also Absolute Flower Shroud. Your this is also gonna be your swap skill. So pre-awakening later on. There's one backward flower shot which is SE and then frontal which is WE. Also gonna be Spirit Way, which your this. Okay, that's all for your FG, I guess. Okay, so after that, let's talk about the CC then. It's gonna be Knockdown first, which is your Fox Flare CQ. This is gonna be your what you use mainly if you go to pre-awakening and then you're not being targeted. Try to put some distance and then press CQ. It's a really good skill. Big AE, KD, and then not the fastest, but it's fast enough with long range. It's also gonna be Petal Play, which is Shift LMB. You can make it, you mean you can make the animation faster if you use SLMB first before Shift LMB. Should be done around now. Actually, where's it? Uploading skill like Petal Play. SLMB into Shift LMB. Faster animation. So if you wanna use it, you might want to use SLMB first. You will be more protected. There's also Soul Tier, which is your mobility skill for stiffness. WQ. It's stiff. And then your most broken skill, I would say, because it's really fast, give you AP and then it's range kill. It's your charm, long range, stiff with AP buff. It's unprotected, yes, but it is big AoE and then it is really far. Even hit it from this far, I would say. Yeah, it is really strong because you can, like, let's say you do this, like, you can simply go for this, which is really nice to have. Okay, that's gonna be your CC skill. Then let's talk about the hotbar skill. You will want to hotbar your soul tier This because you can use this to go to pre-awakening from awakening, which I will show later. Then it's gonna be Heavenward Dance. Is it? Dance. Heavenward Dance, which is this. Then there's also your Rabams. You're gonna need to hotbar your third Rabams. I usually put it here. Use Soul Charm for the healing. This, yeah, that's gonna be it for your hotbar. Okay, so now let's talk about your swaps from awakening to pre-awakening. You will have front and then back C swap, and then there's also side C swap. Front C swap is gonna be unprotected. Come with wet back C swap, it's also unprotected. But your side C swap, you're gonna go into Barret Cloud, which is FG. But do be careful if it's on cooldown, it's gonna be unprotected also. Yeah, that's for it. You can also go to pre-awakening from awakening with your Rabams. There's Sif X. There's also Sif Z. Then your third Rabam which you put on your hotbar. So skill. Then there's also Flower's Route. It's FG. This. It's I usually use it SE, but you can also use WE if you wanna go aggressive. It's WE. Yep, that's gonna be your swaps. And then the last one is gonna be Saltier. But you do need to hotbar first if you wanna switch. But because if you use WQ from here, it's gonna be this. But if you use hotbar, it's gonna be this. You go into Saltier to pre-awakening into pre-awakening. That's your swap. And then for BSR, like I said before, you only use Heaven's Ward Dance. This is mainly use it for the multi-hit CC. It got nerfed after the hit patch, but it's still pretty nice to have. But do be careful. A good player might be able to grab you in this animation during the last part. So yeah, do be careful about it. And then for lock skill, you need to lock Soul Snare. Because if you don't lock this, you cannot go to awakening with F. Up. Awakening F. There's also you also need to lock Heavenward Dance WRMB, right? Yeah, WRMB. So you lock this so you can go from pre-awakening to awakening with WRMB. Easy path. Then you also lock Evasion, which is most people use it for PvP, lock the Evasion. Then that's all for lock skill, I would say. But yeah, you see this, right? When we talk about Magnus, it's like I don't know. Like I used this before, and then I don't see a single reason why I would use this again. So for me, I doesn't even learn this. That's for Magnus. Last part for awakening, we're gonna talk about Rabams. So Rabams, right? You have Heavenly Return. This stun. Okay, let's skill demo because I don't believe they have no. Oh, we can actually do this skill. Okay, so I can sell it now. So Heavenly Return. It's unprotected, but it does stun the enemy. Save X. The range is not that good, but it's pretty nice to have if you wanna use it as a stun. The thing is like you gonna prefer Spirit Parade, so you can go to pre-awakening more protected. Save X protection. Yep, gonna be your main skill to go to pre-awakening. I would say you're either gonna go to pre-awakening with Save X Soul Snare, or it's gonna be this Flower Spell. There's also Petal Snare and then Constricting Charm. For Petal Snare, it's FG. This pretty nice to have, but for me, I should know. It's pretty nice to have, and then you can cancel it fast. For me, 10 seconds should be around. No, I prefer Constriction because Constriction, even though it's longer cooldown, I don't really use CZ to swap to pre-awakening, but I usually use it to linger my SA. That or to finish a kill that I cannot finish with my awakening skill, because sometimes I just don't have any other SA skill to finish the enemy, right? So this is gonna be my last skill. It's not the best, but it's good enough because it's also have done attack modifier on it. Okay, then for the last Rabams, you have Soul Charm or Spirit Sparks. Soul Charm, it's pretty simple. It's recover 1k HP in total, 40-second cooldown, but it does take a lot of stamina. 600. This also long cooldown when I use this first. Then there's also Spirit Sparks. This is gonna be FG, right? But this is animation lock. The animation lock might fuck you up, I would say, because it's FG, and then if people around you, they might seize you from behind. Let's put actually manage to it. Like, that's all about it for your Rabam skill or spirit enhancement skill. Okay, so we're gonna talk about Awakening Maegu passive, which is called which your critical damage buff. There's 3 level to it. The first level gonna give you 2.5% critical buff or critical hit damage buff, I would say, for 2.5%. Second level is gonna be 5% for 20 seconds, and then the third level it's 10% for 10 seconds. The way you get it, like normally you can use it by going into Spiritforge stage, which you cannot actually see it, and then use a level up skill to level up the skill, to level up the buff, sorry. Then you will lose the Spiritforge stage if you go doing dash, or you AFK for a while, or you go into pre-awakening. You will lose those Spiritforge stats. Okay, so what skill makes you go into Spiritforge? First of all, it's gonna be Hazy Pets, the first. And that's why, is it? You can go to this, like, after RMB. Let's say I don't use RMB without Spirit, without using a WF first. I mean, sorry, WRMB first, Hazy Pet. It doesn't give me, it doesn't level up my buff. Yeah. Hazy Pet, which is WRMB, then Fox Player Charge, WF. It's also Amber Cloud Torrent, Sieve RMB. Amber Claw slash Sieve Q. Sorry, Amber Claw slash gonna be Sieve LMB. Then Amber Claw Finale, which is Sieve Q. Amber Claw Crush, your E, your KD. Oh, might have just lock it. E, and then this is also your Spiritforge into level up 2, which is Spacebar Jump into LMB. It's gonna use your Fox Flare Ambush cooldown. It's easy though. Let's show it like this. Let's go level up your buff rank. But yeah, that's your Spiritforge skill. And then there's the level up skill, which after you go Spiritforge, you're gonna level up your buff or reset it. Let's go Spiritforge first with Hazy Pet, and then it's gonna be Twirling Fox Flare, which is CF to hit because Twirling Frog and then Frog Encore. There's also Twirling Rhapsody, your AD RMD. Oh, I forgot to go into the let's do this. Yep, it resets my level 3. There's also Fox Flare's Rock, which is I'm pretty sure this gives you 2 level. That's oh, this it only gives you 2 level, right? But I also press Fox Flare Fletch, which also give you 1 level, make it into 3rd level instantly. But yeah, Fox Flare's Rock give you 2 level from the 2 hit. Also Fox Flare Glitch, 1 level. Then Fox Flare Fletch, which I told you before, it also gives you 1 level. There's also Twirling Retreat, SF, 1 level. And then there's also Fan Kick, if only. Oh, and there's also Fox Flare Ambush, which is 1 level also. That's gonna be it for this passive, right? You don't need to worry about it too much because with proper combo, you can maintain level 3 buff pretty easily. Okay, so let's talk about addons now. Disclaimer before we start talking about addons, you don't need to follow my addons one to one. Addons will always depends on how your playstyle. Use your mind as reference only. Okay, so I'm gonna show my addons on first and then give the reason why I use these addons on my combo. So this is my addons. My main skill would be Twirling Rhapsody, Fox Flare Ambush, and then Twirling Fox Flare. Those are my main skill. So I put the mandatory add-ons like crit rates and minus DP on Twirling Rhapsody, and then human AP and attack speed on Fox Flare Ambush, and then also another critical hit rate to make sure I still hold it. Also with accuracy rate. The accuracy rate in Twirling Foxflare, right? You can change it into other DPS add-ons like critical damage, air attack, or even down attack. You can even change the critical hit rate if you want to. I only use it to make sure I have the critical hit rate if I'm gonna do a long combo. For the other add-ons, let's say Spirit Swirl, Emberclaw Finale, Twirling Retreat, I use it to help me to stay alive or doing more damage when I do long combo. Like when I do long combo, I'm gonna use Ember Claw Finale. I also put minus evasion rate and then critical hit damage. Then I'm also using Twirling Retreat on my long combo, which also give me DP and movement speed so I can stay alive longer in this combo. For Spirit Swirl, right? I only use it to help me stay alive better while in my neutral state. I will also give my other add-ons on the description under the video later. So yeah, I think that's enough for add-ons. Let's talk about combo now. But before it, like, I wanna briefly mention about how CC and Damage Modifier works in BDO. So there's critical hit. You can see it, critical. It gives you 200% of your damage. Then there's also back attack. See it, back attack and critical. This is combined. Back attack give you 120% of your damage. There's also down attack. We need to down the enemy first, which we're gonna use KD for it. Okay, he's down. I'm gonna do down attack damage. There's like down attack. And see it, down attack give you 120% damage too. But for down attack, you need to make sure your skill, like Ember Claw Finale, have down attack modifier. You can see in the description, it's blue in color, it says down attack. Without down attack, right, you cannot do down attack damage. So let's see Twirling Rhapsody doesn't have any down attack. KD, and then we will do Twirling Rhapsody. You don't see down attack, you see air attack though, because Twirling Rhapsody do have air attack. Then last one, yeah, air attack. Air attack, you need to make people into air state, which happen if you float them. Yeah, Let's briefly into the air. In air attack, when they're in air, you can use your skill that have air attack. It gives you 170% damage. So this, you see the air attack. This have air attack modifier. This also have air attack modifier. Okay, so to understand it more, uh, in BDO, right, there's 3 stat where your character can be. First of all, standing stat, which is like this. You stand. When in standing stat, you can do back attack. You cannot do down attack or air attack when they are still standing. Yeah, no air attack, right? It's only back attack. There's also down stat, which happen if you do most CC. KD, they're down. Float, they're up first and then down. There's also bound, which we don't have the skill. Those skill, it's knockdown, float, bound, will make enemy go into down state. Then there's also air stage, which only happens when you do float. Like this float in air state, you can do air attack. Yep. Okay, let's talk about CC next. In BDO, there's something called CC cap, which you can see here. Yeah, it's immune, right? This we call it CC cap. When they're immune, you cannot do any more CC. This you can CC them, you can CC them, and if they're already standing, because it's on the CC cap immune state. But yeah, but this also means that you can CC them as long as it's not capped. The cap in video is 2. This is 1, you can see it 1 here, and then another one. 2. For more detail, knockdown, right? It give you I need to miss the RMB first. Because RMB knockback. Actually, stay with me. PvP is knockdown. Knockdown give you 1 cap. Same with float. Float also give you 1. Then there's also bound, which we don't have right now on this character. It's also give you 1 CC. Oh, before I forgot. Knockdown give you 5-second down state. This is gonna be 5-second for knockdown. For float, it's 3-second CC. 1.5-second in the air state where they're flying. Then 1.5-second other, the last part, it's gonna be down state. It's also bound. 2-second down state. Their stun, we don't have stun except we use the Rabams. Actually, we're gonna use Rabams. Their stun also give you 1 CC. It's like 3-second CC state. And there's also stiffness, which we get from this 0.7 only, but the CC only 1.2 standing state. Same with stun, standing state. Knockback, it's 0.72 on the counter. It's give you 2-second CC standing state. 3 things you need to know about CC is that you can do 2.7 CC cap if you do 1 CC, 0.7, and then 1 again. Let me show you. This 1 into 1.7 into 2.7 CC. Then there's also this thing, which is stun, stiffness, knockback can only be used on enemy that is on standing stat. Let's say enemy is KD right now, right? You still have CC cap, but I cannot knockback them. I already up. I cannot knockback them. I cannot stiff them. And then if they're also knockdown, I also cannot stun them. You need to know that. Then the last thing about this is that you can only re-CC someone on air stat, which is the first part of float. With you can only CC them with KD and bound. We don't have bound and our KD also slow, so yeah, let's say this, right? You cannot CC them with another float, even though like this ADRMB is float. And then I also use F, which is also float, but it doesn't work. It doesn't CC the enemy again. It doesn't increase the cap also. So yeah, you can only use KD or bound for it. Yep, it doesn't cap CC, even though I use 2 float CC. Okay, we are done with that. Let's actually go into the combo now. Combo in BDO is pretty simple. First you CC them and then throw your damage. Like this, pretty simple, right? It's like 3 skill use and then so little input. But yeah, BDO combo can also be pretty simple and pretty complicated at the same time. It becomes complicated when we start to optimize it to deal the most damage with other mechanic that BDO provides, such as add-ons, then damage modifier, the one we talked before, and then there's also CC cap. The most simple way to describe how to do an optimized combo in BDO is first you CC, then filler damage DCC, and then your main damage. That's the most simple way you can describe an optimized BDO combo. As I said previously, for my Addons, there's 3 main skills. We'll make a combo around those skills. Yeah. Okay, so for the first combo, we gonna have WRND to AD RNB or side RNB into F into Shift F, or you can actually just hold the F. Okay. This will be your most basic combo with 1 CC into main damage while still having all your important add-ons up. This is why I use these add-ons. Remember, you cannot CC enemy in F step with other CC than KD or bound. That's why our F skill that have float doesn't do any CC to enemy. So the way we improve this combo is by adding a filler skill to give time to enemy to go down from air stat to down stat. Considering our add-ons, we can put Twirling Retreat and or Ember Claw Finale as our filler skill, giving us 3 more combo. First combo gonna be WRMB into AD SF, which is Twirling Retreat into F. Maybe the first one. Look, you managed to resist it. Then the second one can be we switch SF with CQ. Like now. We can also do the RCC with this. Then we can also use them both. It's gonna be our third combo. CQ. This. This. Yep, that's gonna be our combo. This combo already pretty good to have. It's fully protected and also have good damage, but we can still improve it. Let's say you have high attack speed, you can finish your Twirling Fox Splash early. After it, you can use Emberclaw Torrent, or if you still have it of cooldown, you can use Emberclaw Finale or Twirling Retreat. If you don't have the skill up, you can use your Rabam, which is Constricting Charm, or Spirit Parade into Spirit Tag. So the combo is gonna be like this. First one's gonna be WRB into ADRB into SF into CQ. This combo, this, and it's gonna be a combo. Second one's gonna be WRB E shift Q F shift F into S. Gonna be our other combo. Third one's gonna be longer one. E A S F Q F, and then stick around. This and this. Gotta be a third combo. Fourth one, right? Gonna be in case you don't want to use FG on your last part. So it's gonna be like this. Here and the F into 6. But do remember, if RMB, which is your Ember Cloud Torrent, do give more damage than CZ, but it is also an FG. So yeah. This then SA on the last part. A bit. So if you don't have Sip Z on cooldown and you still want the SA combo, you can also do this, which is your lowest damage combo, I would say, for SA1. And we are for a fifth combo. AD NMD SF Shift Q F Shift F Shift X and then RMD. Combo. Oops. Oh, forgot to change this into the other one. Let's do it one more time. Let's get parrot. This. Yeah, fully SA. That's gonna be our combo. We stretched the combo already, but if you remember at the start, we still have some buff debuff skill that we haven't utilized yet. Let's put them on our combo. On the side, it is unprotected or have small gaps, so do be careful when using it. First, we have our critical buff, which is Foxfire Fletch, our RMB. So the combo is gonna be like this. RMB, RMB, SF, Q into RMB into F into F into RMB. Got it? That's it. This, F, and this. Gonna be our combo. So this is the start of our 2.7 cc combo, right? If you see it properly, this, we do this, we do this, we do this, and 1.7 into 2.7. So, like after the knockback, we still have quite some time. We can also put other skill, which is gonna be our Fox Flare Stroke, our AP buff. The combo is gonna be like this: WRMB into ADRMB F RMB into S. For SRMB, Fox Flare, you only do the first hit, okay? so you can cancel it and then less being unprotected. Into F, into shift F, shift R. Combo getting longer and longer. Hit this. That's gonna be a combo. You will have some damage from twirling flex. Flex plus rock, and then you will also get your AP buff, which is pretty nice to have. Yeah, the buff looking nice already, so we can try to put some debuff now. We have two main debuff, which is our Amber Claw Slash for minus TP, and we also have Fox Cliff for minus evasion. Using those skill on the combo will be like this. So for the first combo, it's gonna be WRN. Two RND fully right. First, yeah, can go Shift SRMB plus drop into Shift LMB, which is our Ember Plus minus TP skill, into F, into Shift F, into Shift RMB. It's pretty nice. I'll show you. This, and we are combo. One thing about Fox Flash Rock, right? If you do 2 hit, you cannot cancel your Ember Claw Slash. It's gonna be the slow animation. If you only do 1 hit, it's gonna be fast. That's one thing about it. The other thing about it is that when you do Shift LMB, which is your Ember Claw Slash, it's gonna be unprotected, right? And it's quite big animation. But you can actually cancel it either with F or your Shift F. And so, yep, the gap's gonna be really small. If you use F, you can also use Shift F for it. It's pretty nice to have, and pretty nice to know. Okay, so that was our first combo. Let's do the second one. What is this? It's gonna be Shift LMB here. We don't use Shift LMB, but we go into our Evasion debuff instead, which is Q. Gonna be the second combo. Yep, like this. You mainly gonna use Shift LMB more because everyone have DP, but not everyone have evasion. Like that. But you can also put both of those debuff into your combo, which is gonna be like this. Use Q first into Shift LMB. Let me show you. This. This. But yes, you might not be able. Yeah, no, it's not that you might not be able. You will probably not be able to do your Ember Cloud Torrent because you don't have time for it, and you might also get grabbed in your Shift F less animation if you get slowed by it. So do be careful. Make sure you have all your attack speed buff up, which is on your add-ons, and then Fell Hearts. Make sure you also have your casting speed on level 5. So yes, that's your debuff combo. This combo already looks really nice. The only thing that we haven't used is the fan kick skill, which give us 10% air attack buff. The problem with the skill is that it also float the enemy, so we need to use it without hitting the enemy, because if we float the enemy too early, we don't have enough time to finish twirling fox flare animation. This is how I usually do it. Combo. Gonna be Q. Before Q, we put SLMB first, then Q. Cannot even put any more. type, but yeah, it's gonna be like this. So that's how I do it. So I also have the 10% air attack damage because this is buff, right? You don't need to hit the enemy with it. That's the combo. If you get down smash with your Sif F, you might be able to use Sif RMB, but if not, no need to use it. Yeah, that's all the combo you can do as Awakening Maegu, from the most simple to the most unprotected things you can do. There's actually one more combo you can do, which use KD, your Ember Cloud Rush, as your ACC, but remember, the only time you want to use this skill is when first you have team around you, so they can also deal tons of damage with longer CC, which is 5-second CC, right, from KD, and then float is only 3 seconds. Then second, you don't have enough damage to kill someone with normal combo, so you're hoping to get CC reset with your down smash and go there. Then you just want to style on someone. That's actually, this skill looks nice, not gonna lie. It's like slapping someone. But yeah, the combo it's gonna be like this: WRND into a RMD into SF into CQ into RMD into SRMD into E into SIF LND into F, then to SIF F, then SIF RMD. It's gonna be the combo. Yeah, good. Oh, I miss. I put it. The input is wrong. I do Fox Pixel before Fletch. Let's do it again. That is unlucky. Let me do it one more time. Yeah. Then if you get done smash, you can reset it. But yeah, that's gonna be your KD RCC combo. The biggest reason why you don't want to use this right, it's because your main damage skill is mostly air attack and don't have down attack except during Foxfire. Like Rhapsody is air attack, Foxfire Ambush, air attack, no down attack, only this have down attack. And it's still pretty good. But yeah. Oh, also, about during Foxfire, you only have down attack if you are on Spiritforge. If you are on Spiritforge, you can see it on the description. Let's say I KD them, right? And then I'm not in Spiritforge, I instant shift F, I don't have it. But if I re-CC with Ember Claw Crush, which is our Spiritforge skill, into shift F, I will have down attack. Oh yeah, the first part of KD also have some air stat, so that's also pretty nice. Oh, I forgot about that. One of the reason why you don't go during because you make air smash someone and then the KD becomes too fast, not 5 seconds. Also need to be careful about that. But I think that's all for our combo. After the combo, let's talk about our catches. Catching with Awakening Maegu is pretty simple. First part is using mobility skill that we talked about before into one of your main CC skill, which is gonna be your Twirling Rhapsody and then Fox Flare Ambush. You can also use Fox Flare Fletch, is knockback, but only use it when your main CC skill is on CD. It is only knockback and it is also unprotected at the end of the part, so do be careful about it. So our most simple catches, which we gonna use a lot, it's gonna be WRNB into ABRNB. Okay. It's your best catches. It starts with going into Spiritforge stage from Hazy Paths, which means you get more damage from your critical damage buff. Also pretty nice range. Pretty nice. Your second sketch gonna be F into ABRNB. Like, imagine someone FG, right? You use F, you get into behind them, and then you add R&D. If they FG, right, your F not gonna CC them. You just gonna get into behind them. F doesn't go through FG, but it does position you behind the FG. But yeah, this is actually faster than the previous one, which is this. Why is this faster? Because let's say Spiritforge F, it is faster in the animation, so people might not be able to react with. But let's say they use FG, right? That means you're losing your Boxer ambush damage into the FG. It doesn't hit the enemy. It hits the FG, and then your only damage is gonna be this Whirling Rhapsody damage. It's your second catch. The third catch gonna be F into RNG. This you use it when you see an opportunity to catch someone. Then you feel like you're safe enough to use it because let's say it's unprotected, right? Use F into behind someone into R&D instantly. It's gonna be your catch. It have gap, right? To minimize the gap, you might want to use Ember Claw Finale or Twirling Retreat after the Fox Flare Pledge. So this into this, the smaller gaps, you can also use like this into this. Yeah, because you still have time to do RCC. Let's do it. This. Oh, I forgot. Actually, let's do it like this. Let's make this cooldown first. This. Yeah, you still have time to do this. To RCC after the CQ. So you are more protected in case you failed the CC or in case someone else trying to CC you. And then you can still go for the RCC. That's your third catch. Fourth catch gonna be dash into AD, RND, or F. Maybe like this. Let's say they're doing FG here. You gotta dash behind them, spin. It is as simple as that. So they're doing FG like again. Dash behind them, F. That's gonna be your CC2. Then the other CC, it's a bit scary to use, but it's still same like RMB CC. It's gonna be a 5 CC. That's into RMB. You can also do it like this. Dash CC. Or if it's long range, do it like this. Imagine the FG, this here. Also do it like that. That's gonna be our fifth sketch. Then you will also have another CC, which is the sixth sketch, the WF Oxford Church into ADR and me, which I won't really do. You can do ADRMB or F, but let me show you first. And do this like this. Or if it's like max range, yeah, so do it like this. Yep, you can also do it with F Foxfire Ambius, but why you don't want to do it right? It's because using WF early, meaning you don't have any good skill to make sure you can get out of the pike. So our best skill to get out of pike is this pike. If you you CC, you combo. If it's 1v1, you good. But if it's like mass PvP, like there's like some team behind you, like enemy team, I mean, then they gonna try to catch you because you're trying to kill their DPS, their enemy, their friends. you might want to go out early. So not having WF to run away fast, it's not good. But yeah, you do have that option though. So keep it in mind and use it at your own risks. So that's our sixth catch. Let's go into our seventh catch. We start with our pre-awakening. It's gotta be spacebar into WRMB into AD. You mainly gonna use this like trying to peel or just randomly CC while doing your AP buff. It's gonna be like this. Oh, it's too far, but yeah, that's gonna be your CC. You first stiff them into float. That's gonna be your second CC. One of your best sketch actually, because most people not gonna expect it. You can also go this into this, the normal pre-awakening CC. Yeah, if it's awakening CC, you want to do this because it gives you more damage, give you the critical damage buff. Other than that, you also have pre-awakening CF that you cancel into WRND ADRD. Forget to tap it, but yeah, it's gonna be your Egg1, which is CF pre-awakening into WRND into A. Why you are gonna use this? Because most people not gonna expect you to cancel it, especially if people doesn't even know that you can actually cancel it. You go, people might think you're lingering this skill, but you actually trying to find gap from them, and like it's pretty nice to know. Then so your ninth catch, which is your last catch, it's gonna be pre-awakening SF into F awakening. So let's say enemy doing FG that, you do SF, then do this. You can actually go behind enemy FG into F, because your F doesn't go through FG, right, in CC. So you go SF first into F. That's gonna be all of your catches. Okay, then the last part gonna be build and gameplay. So we gonna talk about what build that works on Awakening Maegu and an example on how to play around those builds. I will give you an Garmot link on the description. There's my build that I currently use, which is full AP build. On the Garmot, it's called PvP AP. There's also the Evasion build that I haven't tried much yet, but it's pretty good, I would say. I haven't tried to min-max it yet, but yeah. It's called PvP Evasion Test in the Garmot website, so please just use it as reference, and for sure, you can change any on it. I won't call my build the most optimized build in the game yet. But yeah, for full AP build, with this build, you want to play around going in fast and out using a short combo. Uh, you can see the build on the Garmot link, right? But I'm just gonna show you some of the crystal that you can change. For the crystal that I currently use is this. You can add more accuracy crystal for sure. Then you can switch this crystal into another bitterness. Then have this. You can also switch this into just like more AP overall, which is gonna be 2 mechlots, and then yeah, it's like full bass build, or you can just put more ignore resist. You can put what? Yeah, those are your choices. But I will say I'm not gonna change Alcar, I'm not gonna change Scratch Spirit Crystal, Viper, or Magic Crystal. Then you can also change Bang Huang into High Tai if you want to. Yeah, you can also switch Addis if you prefer running like for my cloth maybe. But yeah, this main thing I won't change it. That's gonna be your AP crystal. And then your bread and butter combo gonna be WRMB, ADRMB, F, SIF, F into SF or CQ, which I'm gonna type it now. Make it easy to understand. If F or SIF. Gonna be like this. Not that. It's gonna be too long. Gonna make it simple and fast. SIF F. Gonna be it. Or doing it like this. Into SIF Q. So, but before you go in, right, don't forget to use your pre-buff Fox Flare Stroke into Fox Flare Pledge. So you will have 20 AP and 30 critical hit. Other tips for playing the full AP build is that try to save your WF Fox Flare Charge, like I said before, to get out from Pike. So to go in, Soul Tier, and then dash, it's gonna be your best friend to get close into the enemy. If you don't have WF right to go out, try using backward dash first into side dash because it gives you the most iframe. So you finish your combo, you do backward dash, side dash. That's gonna be your most range, most iframe dash if you don't have the WF to get out. And then avoid going from in front because you might get blasted by some random damage. Let's say there's enemy ball in front. You don't want to go from front here because if enemy have a lot of archer, ranger, whiz, like those range class, you might just get blasted by some random damage. So you either want to go from the side or literally flank the enemy because that's the best you can do because your target also behind, right? That's gonna be your aim. And then for the evasion build, you will generally have lower damage compared to full AP build. But your aim still gonna be to have enough AP to one combo your target. Your aim gonna be staying alive longer to put pressure to enemy, and while doing that, try to find a chance to kill someone. So for crystal, right, you mostly gonna use something like this. Actually, yeah, you want to change Olukas into corrupted to have more damage. Then if you think you are tanky enough, like no need more tankiness, you can actually run more AP, like let's say Lucas here, and then Nojin ignore. It's actually one bitterness, and then you can put Viper. Or if you think you don't even need the Harpia too, you can even run more Spirit Crystal like this. Like, it depends on how much, say, how much AP and tankiness you did. But the most important thing first, it's gonna be your AP. You gonna want to have enough AP to kill the squishes, the range classes. You want to have enough AP to kill them. Let's say you able to kill ranger, that's enough. You're not able to kill warrior in one combo, that's fine. As long as you can kill your targets in one combo, that's enough AP. You can then add more tankiness into your crystal. So yeah, for a fusion build, right, because you're more tanky, you're gonna be using a lot more skill on your combo. You're not gonna use the simple combo like this. Most likely you don't have enough damage except you are like gear checking someone, but you most likely gonna use a longer combo like this as an example. And then your best friend for Evasion Build, like, gonna be a pre-awakening lingering SA. Because let's say enemy there, they cannot hit you. You can use this and then still be here. And then enemy close, you can use this. And then because you're tanky, you can stay left here, especially with the DP. And then if they somehow try to greet you, trying to do damage with FG while doing Shift F, you can catch them with this cancel. Keep that in mind. Like, different with AP build, you will try to always have enemy inside your attach range, so they can feel pressure either from your block jump or your pre-awakening range CC. So if you play AP build, like after you do your combo like this, let's say you wanna go out as far as you can, so enemy, no, not as far as you can, you wanna go outside of enemy range, so you can heal, so you can regain your stamina. But for efficient build, right, after you do your combo, let's say, you don't want to run too far. You want to still pressure them. Then if you get the CC, you go back in fast. That's with efficient build, because if you play efficient, you are more tanky, and if you don't use that tankiness to your advantage, you might as well display the AP build, right? Yes. That is for your efficient build. But for both build, right, the most important thing is that you need to first aim the squeezy target, even if like you can kill, let's say you can kill the tank target like warrior zerg in one combo if with your AP build, you still want to focus their squeezy first. You want to focus the ranger, you want to focus their wizard. It's because most of them have FG skill to punish compared to melee classes, and they are also squishy, so if you finish your combo, you might not take any damage, or you might just take low damage, so you can go back into the fight faster. But yeah, I think that's all I can share about Awakening Maegu. Hopefully this can help you guys at learning the class. If you have any more question, I do stream sometimes in Twitch. I'll give the link in the description. You can ask question there. X. Thanks for watching. See